Today, we'll be discussing time management tools. In my previous video, we discussed time management as a requisite skill a virtual assistant must have. And we know that time management falls under our soft skills. Now, today we'll be talking about the tools that will help us stay organized, that will help us manage our time effectively. Now, one may ask, what are the use of these tools? What effects does these tools have on us? Now, these tools enable us to stay organized. Two, it helps you know your goal, know your target, know what you're supposed to do, and when you are supposed to do them. These tools ensure that you don't while away your time, or you don't give so much attention to things that are not important while leaving the important ones because you don't have a guide. So let's say that this time management tools serve as a guide. Time management tools serve as a guide. You can use it daily, you can use it weekly, depending on your schedule. Now we have different time management tools. We have the prioritization matrix, we have Google Calendar, we have Trello, we have Asana. Trello and Asana can be equated to project management tools. Now, for the purpose of this video, today we'll be discussing about the prioritization matrix. In my next video, we'll talk about Google Calendar. Today, we'll be talking about the prioritization matrix. Now, this prioritization matrix was developed by a one-time American president. The prioritization matrix is divided into four. It is divided into four, and the basic classification is tasks that are important and tasks that are not important. On the prioritization matrix, you have tasks that are urgent, tasks that are not urgent, tasks that can be delegated, and tasks that should not even be given attention at all, tasks that you can delete from your schedule. Now, on the prioritization matrix, it is more like a table. Now, at the outskirts of the table, we have important, and down we have not important. Now, in the prioritization matrix box, we have urgent, not urgent, delegated, and delete. What this means is, on the prioritization matrix, tasks are classified into four distinct places, or into four distinct categories. One, we have tasks that are important and urgent. Tasks that are urgent and important. Example of those tasks that are urgent and important for me as a content creator is researching content that I would create. Two is creating my videos. These are tasks for me personally that are urgent and important. Now we have tasks that are not urgent but are important. Now these tasks that are not urgent but important are self-development tasks, for example. Now these are tasks that you can do. Yes, they are important, but there is no deadline to them. Nothing will go wrong if you attend to them later. Tasks that are urgent and important signifies that these tasks, things will go wrong if nothing is done about them. If I don't create my videos, things will go wrong for me in my own schedule. If I don't research my content, I will not be able to make good content. So these are tasks personally that are urgent and important for me. Now, tasks that are not urgent but important for me are my self-development tasks. Example, attending a class, attending an online class. It is important, but for me, it is not urgent. I can do it at any time. It is not as urgent as attending to a client. I have a client that will pay me for a job well done. It is urgent for me. But for another person, it might not be urgent, depending on the deadline the person has to meet with the client, or depending on the agreement the person has with the client. Now, another example of tasks that are not urgent but important for me are tasks like doing my regular exercises. It is important, but it's not urgent. As you can see, it is my self-development tasks. Now, we have tasks that are urgent but are not important. Tasks that are urgent but are not important. Example can be picking up the kids from school. They are urgent, but they are not important, in the sense that if you have a school bus, or if your kids are registered with the school bus, the school bus can pick the kids up from school and bring them back to the house. So yes, it is urgent. The kids need to come back home, but it is not important because these tasks can be delegated. So we can say that tasks that are urgent but are not important are tasks that can be delegated. Another person can help you do them. Another example of these tasks are going to the market. Now we have tasks that are not urgent and are not important. Tasks that are not urgent and are not important. Now example of those tasks could be gossiping with the girls. Example of those tasks could be hanging out with friends. Example of those tasks could be seeing a movie. Now it is not urgent and it is not important. So I can actually delete it from my schedule. That is why the prioritization matrix is important. Now, I'll be showing you guys my screen on what the prioritization matrix looks like so we can be able to understand everything I have said. So guys, here we are at our prioritization matrix. Now, this is what the matrix looks like. For us to get started, all we just need to do is edit what we want to be here. Now, let's assume this is the first week in the month of March. I just want to impute my week 1 schedules. All I have to do is write here week 1 schedule or tax for week 1. Or I could also use my name. Now the next thing is the tax, how to impute this tax. Now we have, like I told us, we have tags that are urgent and are important. Now these are tags that if we don't do them, things will go wrong. If we don't attend to them, a lot of things will go wrong. These are tags that will impute under urgent and important. The next one is tags that are not urgent but are also important. Now, these tags are tags that you can plan and prioritize. You just have to look for a way to fix them up in your schedule. Not attending to them will not make things to go wrong. Things will still be normal, but these are tasks you just have to do. For example, for myself, example is going to the gym. It is a task that is important, but it's not urgent to me. So I can do it at my own leisure. It could be different for someone else. The next one is tasks that are urgent but are not important. Tasks that are urgent but are not important. These are tasks that you can outsource. These are tasks you can delegate to someone to help you execute them. That is why they are urgent, but they are not important. Another one is tasks that are not important and they are also not urgent. Tasks that are not important and they are also not urgent. These are tasks you should not pay attention to at all. You should not give your attention to these tasks. Let's work on this matrix. Now remember, I will fix week 1 schedule. For my tasks that are urgent and are important, I have meeting up with client's deadline. It is urgent and is important to me. As a content creator, I have to make research before putting out my content. So I'll also add research here. I will also have to create my content. It is also part of my urgent and important tasks. I will have to edit my videos. I will have to create thumbnails before putting out my content out there. It is an example of tasks that are important and are also urgent. For me, it could differ for someone else. The next one is tasks that are not urgent and also are important. They are not urgent, but they are important. So I just have to make out time to do them. Example, visiting the gym. If I don't go to the gym in the morning, I can visit the gym in the evening. That is why I will have to plan towards that and then prioritize it. I can visit the gym in the evening if I don't go in the morning. But for someone else, the person must go in the morning. Perhaps it helps them stay active during the day. Now, another example for me is reading 10 pages of a motivational book. It is not urgent, but it's also important for my self development. The next one we're talking about is tasks that are urgent and are not important. Tasks that are urgent and are not important. These are tasks we can fill up right here. Example is taking the kids to school and bringing them back home. If as a parent you have liaised or you have made arrangements with the school management so that your children can be part of the children that the school bus takes to school and brings them back home, then you have delegated that task. So it has to be under your tasks that are urgent but are not important. So tasks that are urgent but are not important are tasks that can be delegated. Example, taking the kids to school. Secondly is going grocery shopping. The next one is cooking. If you have a living chef or even a chef that comes to the house and goes, the person can cook for you. So it is urgent, but it is not important because it can be delegated. Now, the next one we're talking about are tasks that are not urgent and are also not important. These are tasks that you should not pay attention to at all. These are tasks that you should not even give your time to consider them. Hanging out with friends. Let's say in week one, hanging out with friends is not something I have the time to do. So I can fix it under tasks that are not urgent and also not important. Perhaps in week two, it could be not urgent but important for me. It can also differ for someone else. And that person hanging out with friends might be urgent and important to them. So prioritization matrix depends on your schedule. That is what you do. It differs from one person to another. What is urgent and important to me can be different for that of another person. So it is a personal thing. The link to this prioritization matrix will be in the description below. So all you just have to do is click on the link, edit the PDF, work on your schedule using the prioritization matrix. Now, when you're done, don't forget to fix it up in the comment section so I can look at the work you've done and also commend you and also make corrections where necessary. I love you and I will see you in my next video. Bye.